This is episode 30. What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. Today we're talking about sports law. Because sports has a lot of legal implications, and many people don't talk about the legal implications, but we're going to talk about it today. But I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for all the shares. Thanks for those who just watched my video. I appreciate it. Thanks for the encouraging words. But we're talking about sports law, and in particular the NFL, the American football, the National Football League in the United States. And what happened was they just passed the new collective bargaining agreement, and that has legal implications because a collective bargaining agreement primarily it discusses agreement between the owners and the employees, which are the actual players, and it discusses the salaries, the benefits, the grievances, the working conditions, and things like that. So it's very, very important, and that these things are highly, highly contested, and that the agreements primarily involve the salaries, like the distribution of the salaries, because the NFL makes a lot of money. For example, we know some of the TV rights that they have. For example, the NFL earns $6 billion a year from its contracts with the TV networks. Major League Baseball earns $1.5 billion a year. The NBA earns $2.66 billion, and hockey earns roughly $200 million. Hockey has some work to do. I feel like hockey and baseball, they've done a horrible job of marketing their players. Like, most people in America do not even know who the best baseball player is, so they have to do a lot better with marketing their players. So there's a lot of money involved, and it gets very contested when you're discussing the split of the money, like how much will go to the players and how much will go to the owners. And we're going to talk about that really quickly. And it says 47% of the revenue goes to the players, which means that 53% of all the revenue goes to the owners, and it has a chance to increase once the media deal is done. So the players that has a potential to increase their revenue share once the TV deal are renegotiated. Another thing that's going to be contested is the player discipline. The NFL, it has a lot of controversy about how the players go about getting their disciplines. They can have appeal to the commissioner, and the commissioner gives out the fines, and he also gets to hit the appeal. So that's very contested. But now they're going to be a neutral decision maker on many of the issues that they have to the players. So the commissioner won't hear many of those issues. There'll be a neutral person that have a relationship with the commissioner who represents the owners or with the players. So that's important, and it's important to know that the commissioner works on behalf of the owners, and the players have their own advocate. They have the NFL Players Association, and they have a lawyer. His name DeMaurice Smith. So he helped negotiate the contract between them. But that's what the sports, that's what the NFL, and also I just want to talk about some of the ideas that just regular people, you and I, we can get involved in sports. I know in sports you have to have an athletic ability, to a God-given ability in many ways that you master in order to reach the levels of the NFL, but you don't necessarily have to have these God-given abilities to be able to be involved in sports. Sports is huge. For example, athletes, they have to wear tennis shoes. They wear sneakers. And a lot of people are in the flip. They'll go get the shoes, and then they'll sell it on the secondary market at a large profit. And that has a lot of legal implications because you can do it in a more structured way. These kids or these young people that are getting involved in these flipping of these shoes, they can do it in a more structured way. For example, they can create an LLC, they can get an EIN number, and they can have a bank account. And then while they flipping these shoes and sell it on the secondary market, they can put money in their bank account and then use that money there to buy additional shoes, as well as they can be filing their taxes. And that's important that individuals are filing their taxes because roughly a lot of banks have different requirements, but a lot of banks typically require 2 years of tax returns, and they'll give you a business line of credit. So these kids are making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year off of just flipping athletic shoes, tennis shoes, sneakers. Then they can get a $30,000, $40,000 line of credit. Then now they can use that money to potentially buy the shoes. And so they can be making money without even using their own personal money. They can be using the business line of credit to buy the shoes, and once they sell, they can pay off the business line of credit or pay off the loan. And now their own personal money isn't being touched. In addition, they have like employees or independent contractors. They can sign independent contract agreements with the individuals or wait in line for them, and they can split percentage of the profit, and then they can use some of that line of credit to pay for the expenses of the travel and all the things like that. And if you're traveling to these stores, you can get your mileage written off. There's a lot of things you can do, and a lot of advantages that comes with just filing your taxes. So if you're gonna do it in a more structured approach, that's one way to do it. And a lot of people are customizing shoes. If you're into art, you can customize the athletic shoes and sell them. And you do the same process of getting more structure, LLC, EIN number, or you have an S Corp. There's many ways you can go about it. If you're into events, you can plan some of these events for some of these athletes, trainers. Some people just have the gift to teach. So if you know the best ways, the best movements, you can be a trainer. Like I just know, not just for the NFL or the NBA athletes, you can do it for just regular high schoolers and middle schoolers. They need to get trained as well. Like I know most people don't know how to do a proper sit-up or a proper push-up. So if you are into athletics, you can get involved with it. So there's a lot of things you can do. Even with just customizing things, you can get a license from the different sports team and put their logo on your product. Now your products are more marketable to the outside world. I know like from a movie standpoint, they'll license their characters for like action figures, or license the characters for video games. There's a lot of things you can do. So if you can get an NBA license or an NFL license, one of the athletes, one of the characters, you can do that. In addition, I know sports cards are in high demand. If you're into sports, you can flip these sports cards. This is arbitrage. You just buy it when they're low, and then once the price of it rise, you sell it. You haven't done anything to it. You just bought it in this market and you sold it at a later time in this market where the value for this card is at a higher price. And you do the same thing, having more structure, LLC and things like that. I mean, if you want to do it right, this is the way to do it right. Also, if you're into fashion, you can get your shoes created or whatever it may be and put those on those athletes. Because I think a lot of the athletes, they have contracts to wear the shoes while they're playing. So but when they're not playing, they don't have to have those shoes. So while they're playing, they have to wear their sneakers and wear their tennis shoes. But when they're just walking their regular everyday life, they can wear their shoe they want, and they can wear your shoe. And you can use that as an influencer to leverage your brand and reach whatever goals you want to be for your fashion brand. I know when it comes to shoes, there's a city in Mexico that's like the shoe capital of the world as far as making shoes. It's Leon City in Mexico. They pretty much make shoes for everyone. So this is a place you can go to the factories and talk about what kind of shoe you want. They have all types of equipment to help you design your shoe, and you have a manufacturing agreement, supplier agreement, you have distribution agreements. You have a lot of legal contracts that you probably need to get signed, and you can create your shoe straight from Mexico, and they can ship it to you, and you can ship it for your online store, however you want to go about it. But you can leverage the celebrity of these athletes to be able to take your brand to the next level. So there's many things you can do with sports law. Individuals don't necessarily talk about sports law a lot, but sports has a lot of legal implications. And this has been episode 30. We made it to episode 30. I'm trying to go to 1,000 episodes. So thank you all for watching and being a part of my journey. And we'll take it to the next level. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks. See, you want the fame and I want the chain. We ain't got the same focus. I came in the game with my own